I wanted to make a mold of a very detailed statue, so I carved this lion's head out of plaster, and I put in a lot of detail. The latex is going to capture all this detail perfectly. I especially want to get this outside edge because this is going to be a wall hanging statue. So to do this, I'm going to run a bead of caulk along the inside outer edge, and this will stop the latex from going underneath the statue and hold it up slightly. So to help hold it off the board slightly and evenly, I'm going to lay it on top of these 3 coins. So ordinarily, you would put putty around the outside edge of it to stop the latex, but I want to capture this edge, so that's why I did it this way. The latex will go slightly underneath the outside. I'm using a 16-ounce bottle of liquid latex that I bought online. Stuff's pretty easy to find. This is not a product endorsement. It's just the cheapest one I could find. So if you've never done this before, here's a few tips. The first coat, you want it to be a light coat. It doesn't need to be too thick. And you don't want any air bubbles. And also, try to only go over an area once. When you go over an area twice, sometimes you'll pull up the latex that you just put on. If you notice here, these 2 little white dots, that's pieces of latex that were pulled up from going over it twice. The drying time depends on the environment. It's pretty warm here today, and I have a fan blowing on it, so each layer is drying pretty quickly. I'm only waiting about 3 hours between coats. The latex turns muted yellow when it's dry, and it feels really tacky, and so that means it's ready for the next coat. So here it is after 10 coats, and that's not nearly enough, so I'm going to put on 10 more coats. So here it is after 20 coats, and this is good enough for what I need. I'm going to make a backup for this, so I don't need it to be really thick. I'm putting a couple more coats around the outside edge just to help strengthen it up a bit, because this is where you pull on it when you're demolding it. I'm using children's air dry clay as a backup, and this stuff works great because it molds itself to the surface, gives it really good support. This is actually the bottom of the support, so we want to make sure it's level. And there you go. Makes for a very ugly backup, but it serves its purpose well. Now it's time to remove the mold from the statue, and I want to be careful around this outer edge because it goes slightly underneath it. And it looks like we have a very detailed mold. It turned out perfect. It's going to make some really nice statues. Captured every detail. I'm going to clean this outer edge up just a bit. I hope you like this video. I'll see you in the next one.